is a delicacy to many and a very common type of meat in non-Muslim communities across the world. Because of its high demand, many farmers have been inspired to get into piggery farming. Have you ever considered having your meal close to a pig pen? Well, in this week's episode on Seeds of Gold, we visit this farm that is uniquely set up to accommodate such. Join NTV Seeds of Gold on this journey of success. Coming up on the program.
The truth is, pigs are not dirty. The people who are taking care of these pigs are the ones who are dirty. Why? Because if you kept them in an environment like this one, because we are currently using IMO system, to be honest with you, we started with one pig.
We met this young, inspiring entrepreneur together with her co-director on Value Farm. This big farm started on a rather humble note.
Value Farm actually is a mixed farm. We have pigs, we have goats, we have cows, sheep, then we also have some rabbits, then some little bit of poultry. It is just a mixed farm, as you can hear it. But Value Farm has been in existence for now 14 months. To be honest with you, we started with one pig. It was a male pig that we in fact even rescued from one of our neighbors in the village. As we had just bought this land, we decided, as we were just driving off the farm, the pig was just tied on a rope. We just rescued that one pig. We did pay them a lot of money, but we just wanted to rescue the pig to the farm. Since we were just starting and we had already the idea of bringing in pigs here, so we rescued the pig and we brought it here. Then after some time, we went to a reputable farm and we brought in 13 piglets. Actually bought these piglets when they were like 2 to 3 months. And the price by then, it was around 350. That's what we bought them at. But Value Farm is just a company that really wants to inspire other farmers out there to also start farming.
Christine was quick to think outside of the box to get out of formal employment and pursue a different journey altogether. However, her knowledge in IT often comes in handy. All you need is the zeal to do research, give it your all, and the rest will be history.
To be honest with you, I worked with a corporate company for over 10 years. That is after university. But I was really very, very tired of the same routine, same job, no promotion. It was really very tiresome, and it had really reached to my limit. And by the time I really decided to quit, I wanted something new, something else that I would really do. Also for financial freedom, because even the salary was really little. I was earning almost the same money for the 10 years. There's nothing changing. I wasn't really, exploring my other abilities. So I decided, why can't I try something else? So when my co-director, of course, contacted me, we decided we can do something like farming. I didn't have experience in farming before. I never ever thought that I would do farming, ever. Yes. But when we brought in the idea, then we did our research. We went to different farms, visiting. I developed the interest in farming, and I felt like, okay, this is something that is going to make me move to other places, not sitting in an office from 8 to 5. So it was just very interesting for me. It was another experience. So that is how I decided, like, okay, I think farming is the thing that we should really focus on. Yes.
The biggest setback that holds most youth before they even start to farm is fear of the unknown. Christine shares her experience in that regard.
By the way, farming is very interesting. That's what I should really tell you. It is very interesting when you start it, when you see your animals multiply. That is the joy of every farmer. So what I should really tell people out there who want to start and they still have the fear, the first thing that you really need to focus on is to have a plan, do your research, visit other farms to get experience to start. Because if you start something without any knowledge, any experience, you're going to fail in the beginning. So, of course, for me personally, when I did my research, when we researched about piggery, how people are doing differently in other farms, I had an idea of how we can definitely start ours. Because, with pig farming, most especially the people who do the IMO that we have, but most of them do them in a small scale. They fear it because they think it is very expensive, which is not true, because we've experienced it here. Then other people use the slated floors, which is okay for them, but it's very tiresome. I can also explain that later. But the system we are using here, trust me, it is manageable, it is cheap, it's not expensive like other people really think.
Every farm is unique in its own way, but on this farm, it is amazing. It's hard to tell that this building houses pigs until you actually enter here. There is no smell whatsoever. Wonderful.
The truth is, pigs are not dirty. The people who are taking care of these pigs are the ones who are dirty. Why? Because if you kept them in an environment like this one, because we are currently using IMO system, the IMO has two versions. There's the older version of the IMO, then there is the modern version of the IMO. Most people really fear IMO because of the older version of how they used to construct the IMO, where they put in the leaves, they put in the poles, put in lime, charcoal, all that. That is really very hectic for a person, and maybe someone may think it is very expensive. But for this building right here, how it is unique, we just put a cement cast below. So it is 2 feet deep, and we just put in a cement cast and we put in the wood shavings, and that is it. Very, very simple. So we spray the IMO solution. We have an IMO solution that we spray daily for the no smell. That's why when you come into this building here, there's no smell at all. You can even bring your plate of food and you sit and just enjoy with the pigs right here. That's why even you see like the pigs behind me there, they're very, very clean. It is even very comfortable for them. After eating their food, they sleep on a warm surface. Yes. Most people who have the slated kind of structures use a lot of manpower to clean, and you have to clean like 4 times a day. For this system, we only clean twice. We clean twice a day, which is very manageable. Just spraying and spreading the wood shavings, and maybe washing the feeding troughs and the drinkers. Wood shavings are not very expensive because a bag of wood shavings can go for 2,000 or even 1,500, depending on where you are, because prices keep changing depending on your location. But where we are buying from, we buy at 1,500 to 1,500 to 2,000. That is the rough estimate of the bag of wood shavings. And for this particular pen that you're seeing right here, we only spend like 2 bags if we are to refill. The good thing about IMO is you can change after 6 months the whole bedding. But every other week, you can maybe just spread the wood shavings on top. That's what you can definitely do. And the beauty about using the IMO, this is also our fertilizer. This is natural fertilizers. You don't have to spend so much money buying artificial fertilizers, yet you have pigs here, yet you have the wood shavings here. Because these are going to decompose with time after 6 months, then you take straight to your garden. And that will really help you even grow your feeds, grow your maize, grow your soya. That is cutting costs, by the way. So we are doing win-win. We are using this, then later on we still utilize it in our garden.
Hygiene is also something to look at and pay keen attention to. How then, and when does one clean while using this IMO system?
For cleaning, because we have a team that we have here, they clean twice a day, early in the morning and later after feeding. So they clean very early in the morning, make sure the feeding troughs are really clean, the water troughs are clean before we put in the feeds, because we don't want to contaminate the feeds when they are feeding. Yes, so it's twice a day.
Most farmers usually mess it up at the management level. The feeding is a very crucial stage in piggery. Profits are largely dictated by how best you manage this process. Get the best tips and make your profits.
The thing with pigs is, as long as you have water in your structure, water is a necessity. All farmers out there, if you can, please invest in nipple drinkers. Nipple drinkers are very necessary because water is always available. But if you can't, you can always have drinking troughs that you can construct on a small scale. Then they can be able to drink the water. For the piglets, when they are born, most of the time we train them. So we come to one of the nipple, we press it. So when the water comes out, they realize, okay, there's water here. So they keep playing with it. They go to eat like as if they're playing around. They train themselves. By the way, pigs are very smart animals. But the disadvantage with the drinking troughs is you have to keep it clean, because you may put in water for the pigs to drink from, and later on they step on it and dirten it. And when the pigs see that the water is dirty, they never drink, of which water is a necessity. So at least invest in nipple drinkers. Water is something that makes them even grow faster. Then about feeding, if you want to really make your pigs really grow faster, the thing is you can only feed them twice a day. There's nothing like overfeeding the pigs. Most people fear this project here because they feel maybe the pigs really eat a lot, but pigs do not eat so much. We feed these pigs here twice a day. In the morning at around 7:30, then also at 3. And these pigs know the time of feeding. They can even alert you when it's time for feeding. They make the noise. So if you're very far, they start making noise. They start, climbing over to let you know that they need to feed. So for the piglets, we give them 1 kilogram of the feeds in the morning, then 1 kilogram of feeds again in the afternoon. Then for the growers, maybe the expecting mothers, we give them 2 kilograms in the morning and 2 kilograms in the afternoon. Then for the sows that have given birth, we measure their feeds according to the piglets that they have. So each piglet, we give them 1/4 kilogram of the feeds. Yes. So you count the piglets, and that is the feed that they get. So it is really very easy to really raise and also maximize your profits, because let me just give you an example. Because if you buy a piglet at 2 months, these piglets, each piglet we count like 60,000 a month. So, and we sell it off maybe when it's already like 6 months. So you're ready to maybe feed for roughly 4 months. So 60 times 4, that is around 240,000. And by the time it reaches the finishing level, like 6 months already, you're selling it at around 1,200,000. So subtract your 240, how much do you get? Those are your profits. Yet you really invested maybe 300,000, 350,000. So you can calculate your profits there. It's really very profitable. So we have specific people who come in here to feed our pigs. So we train them and we tell them what they're supposed to feed the pigs with. So we also measure their weights to also know that, okay, this is a grower, this is a finisher, this is just a piglet. So we separate them. That's why we have in this structure here, we have different sections. We have sections for the growers, we have sections for the sows, we have sections for the boers. So they know for the boers how much are they going to eat. The water, we have a dam. That is one investment that we did at Value Farm. We dug our own dam whereby the water is available for all our animals that we have at the farm. Because pigs really love water, please invest in a dam. If you can't, harvest rainwater. We have so many workers at the farm, but we only have 4 people who work in this building, and those are the only ones that we allow all the time to come here. Anyone else cannot step a foot in our pig house. So those are some of the preventive measures that we put in place so that we really prevent our pigs from falling sick as well. By the way, our pigs here, we don't really treat them that much. For the piglets, when they are born, after 3 days, we give them the iron shots. That's what we give them. Then after 21 days, that's when we also give them another iron shot. Then for deworming, we deworm after 2 months. Only that. And that is the other advantage of using the IMO system. Because there's no diseases like coming in, people cleaning, people using those detergents for scrubbing and all that. So it is very easy. And another thing that I did not tell you about the IMO It is manageable.
When all is done and you have everything in place, the good breeds, the housing, the hygiene, where then do you find the market? This is one of the biggest challenges farmers face.
Before you even start a project, especially like piggery, look for your market. Look at people who are rearing the same animals. So these are the people that you can definitely also feed to. Maybe the butchers, if they're surrounding, you can take for them. So start with your locality. Then you can also do the marketing on social media. Do not just play around with social media. Advertise, show people what you really have at the farm. And another thing is, as long as you have quality breeds, people will look for you. Because I can give you an example. There's a person who came here to purchase some breeds, but we told them the price. They were really scared. They're like, that is expensive for me, I cannot manage. So when this person was like, okay, I'll come back next time, we're like, okay, that is fine. Let me go and think about it. We're like, okay, that is fine. So when he went back to the trading center, he went to ask another person. This person referred them back to us. We're like, those are the only people that I trust that you can definitely get the good breeds from. They have the quality. At least if you go to these other farmers here, I'm not sure about them. He even had to call me. Was like, you know what, Tina? I think I'm coming back for some 2 piglets from you, because to be honest with you, I asked several people about pigs elsewhere, but they recommended me to come to your farm. Okay, for the biggest market that we really have, because right now we are selling to fresh cuts as well for meat. Yes. Then we also have people who get some butchers that come, some restaurants that also request from us. Then people who have their parties, their occasions, they always call us so that we can deliver for them. We started 14 months ago, just the purchasing the land and putting in these other animals. I think roughly now with the animals in here, it's like 12 months, like a year. Yeah, but right now we have over 392 pigs at the moment. We currently sold 100 and 150 to the butcher. Of course, we are selling to the fresh cuts. Yes.
This structure looks like a multi-million structure, and for sure, it is a good housing any farmer would love to have. Christine is here to paint for us a picture on how much this could roughly cost.
Yes, that is another thing when someone is starting a pig farm, the structure. When you look at this structure here, you get scared. We did not start like this at all. We started with just a tent. Our first pig slept in a tent. The 13 piglets that we got slept in a tent, but we wanted the farm to really start. So after we put them in a tent, we of course improvised. We put in our jerry cans for water. Even the feeds, we had to cut jerry cans to feed in there. Then later, we had to also upgrade a little bit. The structure was still simple, very simple. We invested in the nipples as well. Then we put in the feeders in jerry cans, by the way, so that they don't really turn them over. Then, of course, as the numbers increased, we had a temporary structure just behind this structure right there. As the numbers kept increasing, as we sold a few of them, we upgraded to this structure. But what I really tell people out there, start small and think big. Start with the materials that you have. As long as they have shelter, they have where to drink from, they have where to feed from, that is what is really necessary. Then you upgrade with time. When you sell, let the pigs really build you slowly.
When you first meet Christine, hardly would you attach her to farming. She pops, modern, and looks really cute, her nails and all. So for you who despise farming and think it's for the old, the dirty, the failures, well, you are so wrong. They rip big hair and very contented.
Do you know what? People sitting in offices, this is what I always tell my friends. I still have friends who are still, in that corporate office that I used to sit in. But I always bring them the idea of farming. But most of them do not want to be dirty. They feel like farming is a dirty thing. How will they look at me? I have my bachelor's, I have my, PhD. How am I going to get into farming? Please do not despise farming. All youth out there, do not despise farming. Farming is very enjoyable. You can make money better than the one that you're seated in an AC there, 8 to 5, and getting 1.5 per month. If I sell my pigs, I can get like 10 million if I sold like even just 10 pigs. I can even get millions, like 10 million there, by the way. Less stress, financial freedom. There's no one to tell you that, okay, you're supposed to be at work at this time. I can decide when I want to come to the farm. When I come to the farm, when I see my animals multiplying, I'm very happy. You know, that joy, there's just that joy that you really get when you come to the farm, when you look at animals. This is something that I never had before, by the way, because I was in that world. But when I came into farming, it's very therapeutic. That's what I should really tell you. If you don't have the money to start off immediately, go back home, go back to your villages. Most people prefer to be in the city, seated, you know, in your rented house, you're paying, that is what you really want. Go back home to the villages. We're here in Luwero. I don't come from Luwero. I also have a home in Kampala, but I prefer here in Luwero. And you can't set up a farm in the city. It is still in the village. So when you come, maybe your parents have a piece of land somewhere, start a small stall, small structure of your pig house. Then later on, when you get money, you can be able to purchase. And another thing about land appreciates. So in case you really want to buy land right now, in case you have little money, invest. Buy something small, then with time you expand. We started this farm with only 30 acres, but we still started expanding to our neighbors. They even come to you themselves. Can we lease you this land? Then you buy them slowly, they expand as your farm is also growing.
Farming, just like any other enterprise, comes with challenges, and these are not meant to break you, but rather strengthen you.
So the challenges are sometimes when some people come in for a few days and maybe disappear, and maybe if you're not there, they're not ready to work, they're very lazy. When they see around us, when they're able to work, when you just go off, the work stops there. So it is about management sometimes. Then also the different challenges that we got here is about maybe the predators from around that come maybe to steal the maize because we planted our maize somewhere there. Yeah, that is basically it. There are no big challenges that we really faced here.
Everyone does business so they can eventually make good money, sustain the business, make profits, and live a good life. Christine is here to attest the goodness of this farm in just the past 14 months. Imagine what it will look like in 10 years.
The biggest achievements that we've really got at Value Farm is about the expansion. How the farm has really grown to where it is right now, because we started really in a very miserable state, but right now the farm is growing and the pigs are the ones that are building the farm. The goats are the ones that are building the farm, because we are the ones that we invested in the beginning are the ones that we are selling, and the profits that we are getting are the ones that we are investing into the farm. So that is an achievement to us, because we do not have to use our savings anymore. We are using what we have at the farm to grow the farm. Yes. Record keeping, as you said, is very vital, because each pig has a tag on it, as you can see. So we tag our animals and we trace its genetics as well, and the kids and the lineage of each pig. So when someone comes to buy a pig from us, we shall definitely show you the records that we have for that pig, the treatment plan, the vaccination, in case we've really vaccinated. All that is there. Then the kids that it has, farrowed before, all those documents are right there. So as a farmer, it is very, very good for you to have records for your farm. That will even make you invest better, because maybe the ones that are farrowing better, the ones that are not good mothers, you keep them away for meat. Yes, there's a lot really that is really happening right now at the farm, but our intention is to have our meat processing plant. Then we also have maybe packaging services, that whereby we package different meat cuts for end users without the middlemen.